Michoel about because this first time he's a Peter, whether we daven in the other Rosh Hashanah.
Oh yeah, he's becoming. You don't know he's going to be coming in the evening.
No, yeah, it's just a general thing.
But you know if he's planning coming down the Ma'ariv here.
I don't think so. I don't know. He is not as of yet.
I mean, it will help the meeting greatly because if he'll have a chiyuv, you know.
Exactly. It's easier to push people to show up.
David, welcome for Florida. You unmute.
Can he unmute or no?
You're good.
Yeah, I'm muted. Yeah.
You can hear him. You can hear him. Yeah.
That wasn't.
I hear everything. Yep.
That's Davis.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
How are you, Davis?
Baruch Hashem. Yom. Mishnechus Adam b'simcha. We have to be b'simcha. That's the
What's
part
that?
of life.
Very good. Okay, you're right. There's Kiddush tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because some of like the Yaakov types do that.
they do.
There's a many. No, they don't say halal, but they don't do halal.
What did Rabbi Hecht last week? What did he teach? His Kiddush, yeah.
Yeah, we continue.
Remember where? What?
There's more or less a Zari.
Was Chazar?
He's from the Hecht family. He's from the Hecht family.
Yeah.
Somewhere, probably.
Yeah, he's related to him, yeah.
You know, call me. You call my wife. You know, your mother.
Yeah?
Has to come over to. So,
Say hello? Oh, wow.
was surprised.
Wow, Hashem. They haven't seen each other in a long time.
We went a few times together to Queens.
Oh, yeah, to the Isle?
Because I've not to the world for somebody's engagement or something.
Ah,
So we become friends.
how
But
about
he used to
that?
come here, your father, all the time.
Yeah.
I miss your father.
Yeah, they got spoiled. They have a half a black from them.
Yeah, but the spoiled.
Not easy at this age already to try. They live in Kensington, and there's a Chabad shul that opened up
It's a new one.
a few. We lived right next door to a Pam all the years. We lived on East. We shared the same. We shared the alleys. We with Pam. No, the father. My Rav Pam was very close to the family. We lived next door, mamish next door. Pam didn't have a car. Rav Pam would walk every day back from Tervadas. Yeah, you remember that?
What?
So you lived in the area, you'd watch him? Very, very edel yid. Huh? Yeah?
Okay.
Very fine, very, very special yid. It's very edel, fine yid. Such Abbas Yisrael. Abbas Habrias.
Somebody told me that Rachel Imenu, she make Musaf Rosh Chodesh. Yeah?
Could be, I don't know, I didn't hear. So we're holding Siman Reish Ayin Aleph. I'm not sure where he was holding. Did he discuss about why we cover the challah?
No.
Okay. So, maybe we should learn from Sif Tez Zayin. We'll start. Page Reish Lamed Dalet. Where is Shmulekheit?
Reish Lamed Dalet.
Reish Ayin Aleph.
Oh, I'm sorry. Reish Ayin Aleph.
I'm sorry, the Siman is Reish Ayin Aleph. The Siman.
Yeah, right.
Well, maybe Sheva Brachas, maybe.
And Reish Lamed Dalet.
He wasn't here either.
You walked into Panayit?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? Wow.
What's Simon?
Simin Reish Ayin Aleph. You know, we discussed here in the past, Simin Reish, yeah, right here, Sifta Zayin. We discussed, I think, in previous years, we had discussion about that. Now, the Gemara in the Sefer Maseches Tainis says, the Mishnah says, Mishenichas of Ma'atim Simcha. And the Gemara says, Kishem Shemenichas of Ma'atim Simcha, Kach Menichanisas Oder Marbim Simcha. So, and the Gemara continues on and says that therefore, someone who has a court case, he should not have an of, and he should move it over to of, to other, because bari mazli, it's a healthy mazel. Now, it's interesting that the Rambam and the Shulchan Aruch don't quote this din, the Mishenichas of other Marbim Simcha. Although they quote Mishenichas of Ma'atim Simcha, they don't quote the Gemara, which is a Mishnah. They don't quote the Gemara, the Mishenichas other Marbim Simcha. Now the Magen Avram in Ilchos Purim in the beginning, he does mention it, and he says that the Gemara says Mishenichas other Marbim Simcha. The question is, why did the Shulchan Aruch and the Rambam not mention it? So this is a discussion. Why did they have mentioned it? So Gemara should mention halacha. Mishenichas adam marbim simcha. So the din. The din in Gemara. The various terutzim. I'm just remembering that one of the Ishmake terutzim is the Minchas Elazar, the Munkatcher Rebbe, the Zayda of the grandfather of today's Munkatcher Rebbe, his mother's father. So the Minchas Elazar had I think he says like this, that, you know, by of, the Gemara explains, V'mem maitin, what are we memayit of? No? The Gemara doesn't ask about Simcha, Hayim Sameach and other. What's pshat? Because the Gemara didn't want to give a gevul, a limit to the simcha. This. No, marbim b'simcha, marbim b'simcha.
That's a simcha.
Put him, yeah. But even in the beginning of other marbim b'simcha, kol mini simchas, not something specific to be magbalit. So the Shulchan Aruch and the Rambam, their works are halachic works. Their inyan is to say the halacha the way it is. The halachas. There's halachas. Do this, don't do this. You're not allowed to do this during of. Other, the Gemara doesn't say anything what to do. So therefore, the Shulchan Aruch and the Rambam don't have anything to codify. They don't have anything to bring down the Psak halacha. Okay. Sifta Zayin.
How are you? Page.
Huh?
Which page? Thank you.
So, Afal Pi Shemitzan Amovcha the Kaddish some of Kitzur Shabbos. We're learning the din of the Kiddush. Michoel Makim Nimshich Ike Mitzvah Kol Halayla. The Mitzvah Amovcha is to make Kiddush in the beginning of the night, not to push it off. We're still in all. The Nimsha the Ike Mitzvah the entire night. If someone forgot and did not make Kiddush by night, he's able to make it up the next day, the entire day. What does that mean practically? You pick up the becher by day. Instead of just saying Abayre Piagafen, you say the Birchas HaKiddush of the night before.
And I'm sorry.
You start from the Beir Piagafen, and then you go into the Sheikh Shem Titzvah or Tzabano Shabbos Kodshay Kaddish Shabbos. You do 2 in 1, Kiddush of the night and the Kiddush of the day together. And what about the Yichulu? He said the Yichulu doesn't make sense to say now. Friday night is when Hashem finished his work, and now he's resting. So we say Vayichulu Hashem, he finished. Now already day, it's already long finished. They're not going to mention Vayichulu. So that happens. This could happen to someone.
Hospital has a show or something like that.
One second. So what did you say? Sorry?
Somebody in the hospital Friday night. And
Yeah, this happens. I remember one Friday night many years ago. I sat down. I think maybe I even had gas or something. I sat down to make Kiddush.
You lay down.
I made Kiddush right after Kiddush. I actually think I made Kiddush over there. I just didn't feel well. I wasn't able to continue. I felt that I started to brech. I was out. You know, people could have things. You're not feeling well Friday night. You're this, you're that. You missed Kiddush. You slept in something. Hatzalah man, he goes on Hatzalah call. He is in an emergency room. Someone's not feeling good. So the next day you make Kiddush.
You just don't say, you don't
Don't
say.
start Yishalom. That's it. Don't start Yishem Hashishi.
When we used to live here, my son-in-law was in Hatzalah here. He got a call by the Seder. He went, they transferred the patient to Manhattan, came back, was already 2:30. Everybody going to sleep. I sat down with him. He did the Seder. I sat down with him. I don't want to fall asleep.
Yeah.
And he did the whole Seder at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. You
I
know,
remember heard from by Marlo Shalom that the Balchuva couple came to him on Pesach morning and says, we prepared the house so hard and we walk. And we said just before the bedroom, happen up, so we should be able to daven Menachem and start the Seder. We wake up in the morning, what should we do?
Ava Pisha Shulchen, Sivzayin, Televias, Orach, Masun Radium. The Komokim, and Mevines, and the Mokim Masuda at Achara Kiddush.
That was the oldest son.
Yeah. They used to bring the table into the room.
which one is
They
it?
didn't have tables like we have long tables. They had sort of like little tray tables.
Right.
Little tray tables.
Each one has his own table.
His own tables, own little tray, you know. And why would they do this? Kadeshi Nikish Shabala Kreda Shabbos. If you want to show that this Suda didn't arrive here earlier, it's not like a Friday Suda. It came in the Kavod Shabbos. So the way you do it is right after Kiddush, you bring it in. Now, in Meviu Koidim Kiddush, however, if the mistake and it was brought before Kiddush, so if the mapal chasoisi, you have to cover it with a challah cover. Ki'ilu eine kan ad achra Kiddush, Kiddush Yisrael, Ki'ilu hu va'at l'kavod Shabbos. Hamed v'namaborim b'yemeyim. Shehoyu lahem shulchanis ketanim kol echad shulchanim lefanav. What is this talking about? In their days, when they had small tables, every one of them had his table in front of him. It wasn't a tircha to go and a hefsik to go bring it after Kiddush. I still think that those tables then were not like our tables that we have in our dining room. So it was a tircha to bring it. By us, it's not shaykh.
Right.
And it was shaykh, but it was big. It would be tircha. So therefore, the minig is that you bring it in before Kiddush, and you would cover it. Cover the pas at achar Kiddush. Mein shemekadosh al yayin, mein shemekadosh al pas. So Rabbi say, when people ask you, why do we cover the challah? You have to answer. You should know the first ikar reason. What it says here, that it should, when you take it off the challah cover, it's in the challah is brought here the kavod Shabbos.
Everybody will wrestle because not be embarrassed to Kiddush. You know, when you make Kiddush, not embarrassed to Chalas. Nobody would say this.
Oh, that's what they're going to say. So let's wait a second. So that's that reason. Now, the Alter Rebbe comes on and adds in another reason. not for putting on top, but he brings why do we have to put a covering on a challah board or something underneath? He's supposed to have a covering, a tablecloth. Kidei shetehei hapas bein shtei mapis zeicher laman shehaya of talma ma'ila v'talma mata. One on the bottom and one on the top should be between two mappers.
We have the challah board. It's like a mappa.
Yeah. Now, this reason of the man, zeicher to the man, he doesn't bring this. He doesn't bring this as a reason why you have to cover on top. Covering on top, he said you should do a kisheshi nikir shehuva lekavod Shabbos. When he comes to tell you why does he need a map on the bottom, he mentions the reason of the man. But derech we also know from the man, the time of the man, that it should also be covered on the top, because the man was covering the top also, not on the bottom. But he didn't need to come on to that for the top for that reason, because we already had the first reason. He needed to come on to the month to teach you that the bottom. Now, the shaila that you're asking, Shmuel, is that you're saying that what happened to the reason about not being the challah not being embarrassed, they're making kiddush on the wine and not the challah. So the answer is the Alter Rebbe does bring this reason. He brings this reason. I'm going to invite you to take a look in Siman Reish Tzadik. Hold on to your place. We're going to take the Reish Tzadik test. If you're Dalet. It's a page, the page is Shin Lamed Vav. The page is Shin Lamed Vav.
Wow.
The page. The bottom of the page, it says Sif Yud Dalet. If someone wants to eat a suda right after Havdalah, what should he do? You should be careful not to put bread on the table, challah from Alav Malka, before Havdalah. If you did, you have to cover with a mappa.
I never saw it.
Why? Min adin yitzarech lahaktim berchas alechem and berchas hayayin. Kisharoitz alechem miyad shemuktim hayayin b'shevach haitzol pasuk eretz chita v'soyda v'gomer. We have a klal in Hilchos Brachas. When you have a few foods in front of you, which one are you supposed to make a bracha on first? Whatever in the pasuk is first. Eretz, chita, soyda, gefen. What's first? Chita.
Bread.
The bread comes from the chita. Geffen is later in the pasuk, so you're supposed to make the bracha on the shevach, whatever was praised in the pasuk first. If you really make bracha on the chita, but because the ain oy mishira ela yayin, we're making kiddush on yayin, we make it on yayin, and we make havdalah on yayin. Ela sha'ach shevini yachal hagdimai. You can't do first the pas have your meal because you need to make havdalah first. Now I eat before havdalah. It's a bizayin. You should cover the challah. If you're not planning on eating now, so then even though there's bread on the table, you don't have to cover because you're not planning on eating.
What is this? Yakin has?
No, a regular havdalah. If you want it right after havdalah, you plan on having a amlav malka, so you walk in the house before you sit down, you say, hey, let's bring the challah to the table. You bring a bunch of challah, some food. As soon as you make havdalah, the oilam sit down, havdalah.
Or you never took it off from childhood again.
So, or you never took it off, and you're planning to have it right after havdalah. If you're not planning on having that meal, it's okay. Not planning on eat right now.
It's not embarrassing.
Right, because you're not planning. It's only when you have to make. You're going to planning on eating both foods, and then you have to be makdim the bracha to the one that's mukdim in the pasuk.
By Kiddush, you say Kiddush Mokom Suda. By Havdalah, you don't say Havdalah Mokom Suda.
No. So the Maisa over here, the Alter Rebbe does bring the reason that you have to cover Kadesh L'Yira Hapas B'Shasei. So the question is, why over here in Simei Shan Aleph don't we bring that reason?
How are you going to learn from here to Kiddush?
Seemingly you have the same idea. You have to cover the challah by Kiddush. You have challah on the table. You have to cover the challah. You shouldn't see its embarrassment. Well, the Rebbe doesn't bring in Hilchos Kiddush and Hilchos Abdullah.
Why that?
And I'll tell you somewhere else where he brings it. In Hilchos Pesach. When it comes to V'hisha Amda, and we pick up the kois, or by Asher Galanu, we pick up the kois.
So he says
The chas is to cover the pas. The halach is you have to cover the matzah. You pick it up. Why you mechasa the pas? Because Kadei Shlo Yira pas b'shasei.
Making a Kiddush on this.
No, not Kiddush.
Yes, Chayzim.
Yeah, now Kiddush is over. Kiddush is already.
Second cup.
No, in between. Magid is in between the first and the second kois. And
You say that go down on the first cup. I'm sorry, but the second cup. For the second cup.
the Haggadah is over the second cup. You pour by the before Manishtana.
Right.
Now we're constantly by Kiddush. Okay, you have the matzah covered, but why during the whole meal, the whole time, you're not eating too much later.
Right.
So why, when you're doing all the various things during the Haggadah, you pick up the kois? Every time you pick up the kois was to cover them up. Kedei shelo yira pat b'shasei. So why doesn't the Alter Rebbe bring down Reish Ayin Aleph for his Kiddush as a reason why we covered? So I think the reason is that's balabatish, nothing major. I think the reason is pashut. The Alter Rebbe is a sefer halacha. It's a work of halachic work. He's not here to tell you, oh, there's so many reasons for everything. There's this reason, that reason. Okay, that's certain svarim. They ma'asif all the reasons for things. Reasons al derech hapshat, al derech hadrosh, al derech haremez, asoid. Nish das is the inyan of the Shulchan Aruch. The Shulchan Aruch is a halacha, dinim. So if the time is some shaykhs to the din, it's good. For that, not. So Reish Ayin Aleph, the Alter Rebbe did not need to mention. There was no tzorech for him to mention Shelo Yira Bas B'Shaseh, because you anyways have to cover the pas. Sheyenikah shehu b'kan l'kavod Shabbos. That's the ikar reason. So there's no reason to say this reason. Why do you have to cover the badim? Because of the mud. Now, so it's not negayah to tell me this other third reason. It's taka reason why you should cover. But it's not negayah because all the dinim are covered. I know I have to cover and finished. When it comes to Hilchos Abdullah and Hilchos Pesach, with here, he's not coming to the Suda now. He's not going to. I'm sorry, it's not. He's not. There's no chiyuv Suda. There's no chiyuv Suda after Abdullah. So there's no Kadeshi and Nikr Shabbalah covered.
Right, but Rabbi Malka.
It's not a chiyuv. The minig.
Says in the Torah to eat the market.
Not a chiyuv.
David Amelech.
We do it as like a chiyuv. We do it even more.
It's not a chiyuv. So
it's even stronger than.
So Lamaitza, he says that. So there's no reason by Havdalah where you have no chiyuv soda. So there's no inyan of shnei nikkel kavod Shabbos, and there's also no soda. So there's no shaykhis of man. Man is only about the Shabbos. What is Havdalah, and even Pesach? You're going to make a zeicha to the man later by moitzi matzah. It's covered. You have the two mappers.
Okay, Havdalah, you don't say.
But over here, by now, I don't need two. Why do I need a mapper right now?
Right.
There's no other reason. Now the Alter Rebbe had a tzayda to let you know. You should know there's another reason why you have to cover the challah. Kadesh lo yir pas b'shasei, and that reason is negeya for those dinim. So, but in Reish Ayin Aleph, it never came up to a situation that it was negeya to say the din.
When you Yom Tov is on a Friday, and you're going to Shabbos. So over there, if you Sudas Yom Tov is longer or something, he says Boris Mapa and then Mekadesh.
Huh?
Friday is a Yom Tov, and you're going to Shabbos. And the Friday meal, you went so long, and you went into Friday.
Right.
So over there, the din is Boris Mapa and then Mekadesh.
Uh-huh.
So it's the opposition?
No, again, because it's a Friday, even though it's not.
But there it's a meal. It's a Suda Shabbos meal, so you have to cover.
You have to eat the Suda Shabbos.
So you have to cover it to make sure.
That's the
So the only time when the Alter Rebbe felt it soida to let you when he came to a new din, that now you also have to cover, and there's no chi of Suda. Why am I covering the challah? Why am I covering the matzah? Now he needs to let you know. If you're planning on having the Suda right away, if you're not planning on having the Suda right away, it's not a problem.
That's why you're here to learn.
I take the pass off the table.
Because of it.
It's complicated.
By the time I finish the
It's only an issue if you're planning on eating the
by the
Havdalah
time I
right
say
away.
bracha achronin beiten lecho, you're already now ready to it's already a step to go to a new Suda.
If you're planning after Havdalah to have a Suda, then you should cover it. Or take it off the table.
I usually say right away, I'll give him, beiten lecho, and then an hour later.
Right, so then that's why. People don't usually sit down right away.
Uh-huh.
So therefore, you don't have a chiyuv to cover the pass.
You said before that the Alter Rebbe, when in the Seder they say Gal Israel and Sfaradim, we raise the cup in one ונתן לנו את ממונם, all this
Dayenu.
all this Dayenu, we pick up the cup like this. נתן לנו את ממונם, wherever it is, we do like this. One up, one
By
down.
the
Everything's more exciting by the side.
pick up the whole kehara and go by what
Ashkenazim, I don't know where they are, brother Achenu Ashkenazim, where they showed up.
They make it short.
In the Midbar, there was no Ashkenazim in the Midbar. Where did they come from, the Ashkenazim?
no, you know they take the whole kehara and go about the people like we do kapos.
Yeah?
And they says
What this you do? You do this?
Maybe
Yeah.
something.
Not only that, when we say Avadim Ayinu, we take a clothes or something, we put here Avadim and we walk like this, like a slave. Avadim Ayinu, Olepa, or Mitzrayim, you know.
I think we have to look into converting.
It's more exciting.
Moshe Rabbeinu was Rabbeinu, not Rabinowitz. He was fine.
What was that?
Moshe Rabbeinu, what's his name? Rabbeinu, not Rabinowitz. He was Sephardi.
Okay. Sifyut Ches, as I say. Koi shal Kiddush, bein shal Laila, bein shal Yoim, bein shal Havdalah, Ton, Kol Advarim, Sheton, Koi shal Birchas HaMazon, Mazon. The kois of Kiddush, whether it's night or day or even Havdalah, requires all the halachis, just like a kois of Birchas HaMazon requires. And the dinim of Birchas HaMazon in Siman Kuf Tzadik, the first chelik in Shulchan Aruch, there's a lot of dinim about what does the kois shal Birchas HaMazon require. Over here he starts to quote them. She is shalim, it should be a complete cup. She should defend chutz v'dechenim b'mafnim. You should wash it. You should fill up the becher all the way spilling over, all the way to the top. It should not be pogum though and drink from the wine. We should pick it up with two hands. You should hold it when you make Kiddush with your right hand. So you pick it up with two hands, hold it with your right
You
hand.
see many times Sephardim holding like this, the cup, two hands. We don't do it.
And then they do it in one.
Right. But
That's faster.
You should pick it up a tefach off the table. You should put your eyes in it. And why should you look at it? You shouldn't forget. You shouldn't have a hesach hadas from what you're doing. You're making Kiddush now. Take a look at the Kosher Brach. Whenever you may say Kosher Brach, you're supposed to look. When you say the Bayer Pe'agafen, you're supposed to look at the Kos.
We're looking at the wine because it's good for the Re'iyah.
No, you're looking at the Ner because it's good for the Riyah.
Yeah.
The natus of Shabbos, you're supposed to look in the beginning of Vayem HaShishi. You're supposed to look at the natus on the table. And it's gula that if you lost eyesight, to gain back the eyesight.
Also, we learned that you have to look at the cup. You look at the cup, you have to see your eyes
What?
in the wine. It is good for
That's something else, but that's something else not mentioned in Shulchan Aruch. But the Ingrid looking at the natives, that says clearly that the Chazal say there is such a thing as some people do, that they look to see their reflection in the wine that they poured into the bowl for the Havdalah. There were sometimes that Rebbe would do that.
Look in the bowl.
Yeah.
Not in the cup.
No, in the bowl. After he made Havdalah and drank, you would sometimes see he took a look in.
To see yourself.
And sometimes people smell the Havdalah candles, a lot of minhagim. But the Inyan of Segula of seeing the Ner, looking at the Ner, I think the Chazal say it already. Something that early.
No, this is school for getting back your eyesight.
Yes.
Havdalah.
Yes.
You put it on your, and you say Ma'arinayim,
When you wash your eyes with the wine. Why we wash our? Why do you put the wine?
And you put in your pocket also.
The Gemara, it says because this is a chavibus of the mitzvah to show that you're washing yourself with the wine.
Oh, that's why.
So excited.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Also, put it in the pocket.
Yeah.
By the way, Lamaisa, we don't do this. The minhag Chabad is not the way the Alter Rebbe says it.
No, but the
The minhag is to pour the cup, pick it up with your right hand, give it to your left hand. Your left hand, you'll put it on your palm, placing your palm. When it's like fingers up, like it's a kli kibbul. And your thumb is to the side. Your thumb is laying to the side, not up. Thumb is laying to the side. And you also, the Shulchan Aruch said to pick it up one tefach off the table. Minhag is to pick it up even higher, 3 tefachim off the table.
It doesn't say anything about adding up water to the Kiddush.
You can't add too much, just a little, because you're going to dilute it.
With the 3 drops is the
Yeah,
Kabbalah.
that's fine.
The Ben Ish Chai used to do it, and we continue doing it.
Your Zayda was the Sheikhet by the Ben Ish Chai, right?
So it's all my family.
I hear you.
But Alter Rebbe doesn't say anything about it.
No. Okay.
And by Lerner also we do the same thing.
Oh, we're going to see the halachas now. We're going to see it now.
Yeah,
The tired. Even though one already said Kiddush, you need to go and repeat it again over the kois before Kiddush. In order you should be mitzi your family that did not yet say it. Or Birchas HaKiddush. If you forgot to say Ve'yichulu before Kiddush, so then in the middle of the Suda, pick up a becher and say Ve'yichulu. Ala kois. Interesting halacha.
You know that Sfaradim said before Mizmor LeDavid, before you start Yom HaShishi, before Shammah.
Yeah, from Arizal.
Just that we say it anyways when we pick up the kite to say Ve'echulu. I don't understand.
Well, you forgot. You forgot to say Ve'yichulu.
Right? Well, we say it anyways by Kiddush.
If you forgot to say it by Kiddush.
Somebody start Yom HaShishi, by the way.
Without Ve'echulu.
You say it when?
In the middle of the Suda?
Somebody start Borei Pri HaGofen.
I don't think this happens, this case, but it's a hypothetical case. But if someone forgot to say Vayichulu, those days they didn't all have like Sedura maybe, and someone forgot to say Vayichulu, he went straight to Borei Pri HaGofen. In the middle of the Suda, he chaps, I didn't say Vayichulu. He should fill up a becher and say the Vayichulu over a kais. Because Chazal wanted you to say Vayichulu on the kais.
Without drinking?
He doesn't talk about drinking.
Maybe he has to drink.
Maybe.
Yeah,
What was the
right.
reason why the Chazal wants to say that?
So what do you do?
The
with this
Chazal stuck it together with Kiddush.
For next some Muslim or something.
Then it'd be
I don't
part-
know. It's a good question. V'toiv lamed b'shas aminis v'yichulu. You should stand. It's better to stand when you hear v'yichulu. How b'shas berachas hakiddush is the toiv leishav. During the bracha of Kiddush, you should sit.
We don't do it.
Al Medinas Elu, the Spash and Leishav af b'shas aminis pashichul. These countries.
After what?
In these countries, the minig is that you should sit also during Vayichulu. Means that you sit during Kiddush the whole time.
No, we stand up
But we don't do
Friday
that.
night, that morning we see that.
We don't do this minig. No, minig, but it's minig Ashkenaz. Minig Ashkenaz is, I think, that they sit b'shas Kiddush.
Morning or
By the
Night, even
Friday
night,
night.
even night.
no, we stand.
Oh, what about those who stand and then after Holy Prayer Cup and they sit? I've seen that.
I hear.
That mean only the full spot is
They're
standing.
different minhagim. They're different minhagim.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
how it
right.
goes.
Sure.
What's the reason why the minig is that we're not makbid to stand when we say veichulu? Is because kimi acher shamru kvar beit hakneses me'omid e makpidin kol kach lame b'shah she'omer lo hitzi bana bebeisei. Since you already said in shul standing, and when you say, I think the reason why you say it's standing is because it's because of edus, because you're giving an edus that the Eibishter created the world. If you days, yeah. The Alter Rebbe writes in Simei Samaches, "Noigin loyme kulam biyachad b'koil rama me'umad shezeh no me'idin la'kadosh baruch hu ma'aseh breishis va'edim sichim l'hoid me'umad."
If you have to down Bechidus, you ask somebody to say with you.
That doesn't say.
No, because you need to witness. Stand up.
That doesn't say in the
So
Shulchan
some
Aruch.
people even they have in the shul a lot of people like kasher and come to me and he says
Yeah. A lot of people are makbid. Not everyone, but most of the olam I don't think is makbid. Now, Michoel makim oindik sas kishem schili yem hashish chol hashemayim shenim b'ze Hashem b'rashi tevis. The name of Hashem is in Yud Kei Vav Kei Yom Hashishi v'chol hashemayim. It's a remes to the Eibishter's name. So here the minig is to stand up a little bit. The minig Ashkenaz, they sit during Vayichulu and Kiddush. They sit up a little bit. B'shas the beginning, they say the first few 4 words. Now, by the way, there's a whole discussion about, there's a klal in Chazal that kol psuka delay paskinim Moshe anan le paskinim. We don't cut off a pasuk where Moshe Rabbeinu didn't cut it off. For example, there's a discussion when it comes to Rish Chodesh, where tonight's Rish Chodesh. I have a Kriya tomorrow, and the next day, 2 days Rish Chodesh, Lamed and Aleph Adar, and Lamed Shvat and Aleph Adar. And there's a discussion in the Gemara, what should he do with Aliyahs? The second Aliyah needs an extra pasuk. He only has 2 psukim. So what should he do?
Go back home.
Go back.
Our minig is we go back and we say extra pasuk. However, the Gemara brings another opinion that you actually say half the pasuk for the first Aliyah and half the pasuk for the second Aliyah.
Jeez.
So the halach is not that way, and I think if I recall that the Gemara says that it's Gemara Megillah, the reason for this is the kol psuka delay pasuk Moshe anan peskinim. We don't cut psukim in the middle. The Torah didn't make a stop in the middle. We don't stop the pasuk. So now over here, Yom HaShishi is not the beginning of a pasuk. Vayichulu is the beginning of a pasuk. Yom HaShishi, Yom HaShishi is the ending of the pasuk. V'erev vayibayker Yom HaShishi Vayichulu Hashemayim. Right? So we just take the last 2 words, Yom HaShishi, and Vayichulu Hashemayim. Why do we put it together? To show you that in here is hinted out the name of Hashem. We know it says in the Medrash, Kol HaTorah Kula Shmoisav Shal HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The whole Torah has the name of Hashem hinted out all over, different ways. Over here we see clearly Yom HaShishi V'chol HaShemayim Yud Kei Vav Kei. But these last 2 words are from the previous thing. So I think the Chassam Sofer has a problem with this because the Gemara said that you're not allowed to cut a pasuk in half. You left out the first half of the pasuk. I think he said that quietly you should say to yourself, Vayerev Biker. And then you start saying, Yom HaShishi, you start saying that out loud, but you didn't make any hefsek in the pasuk. I think in some of the Sidurim it says that, if I'm not mistaken. The art school Sidurim, I think it says there. That
some Sidurim have he Erev Vayibayker Yom HaShishi. I think those
because of this reason. Sure, we can have a Sidurim, we can take a look at this. This is a minig in many places, based on this idea that you're not supposed to cut a pasuk in the middle. Others kind of know that's only like by Kriyas HaTorah and this, but to just say a pasuk like this is not a problem to say the pasuk in the middle. It's one of the reasons why the Rebbe tries to explain why we find in Tanya, the Alter Rebbe many times he sends by like a pasuk. We sometimes find the goimer or v'chulu. The goimer and v'chulu seem to be both the same idea. That means etc.
Right.
But what's this in the goimer and v'chulu?
Sometimes
So the Rebbe said by pasuk it seems we say the goimer in the places where it's medoik. Some places are not medayik. Some svarim. Some mechabrim, including some of the Rebbes, were not medayik. But the Alter Rebbe we find was medayik in Tanya that by pasuk you always over goimer, by chazal you wrote v'chulu, or other things you wrote etc. Why would he switch the terminology? He explains that based on the fact that I don't know if you have a Tanya here, but the based on the fact that a pasuk you're not supposed to stop in the middle. Kol psukim the lei paskim Moshe and lei peskinim, or lei peskinim lei adam the exact lashon. And now they cut off a pasuk in half. So therefore, they don't want to cut the pasuk in half.
and what's on the Alter Rebbe say chulu.
So the goimer, by saying the goimer
there.
means that you should complete the pasuk. Oh, we have a siddur here. What are you showing us?
This is a Masorah art scroll. Vayihi Erev Vayivoker.
Thank you.
Silently.
This is all the way from Boca.
All the way. I've got a huge library here. Baruch Hashem.
It's a very long Kiddush.
Beis Menachem Mendel is growing. We have a congregants in Florida,
Boca Raton.
but they like the weather there a little bit.
Love the weather.
Rabbi Gaman came to me. He went away to Florida a few days. He told me, "Don't go on vacation to Florida." I said, "What happened?" He told me, "The traffic there is horrendous. The whole New York moved to Florida now.
The whole New York, 77 degrees right now.
77 degrees." He said the place is packed, jam-packed. We were there last week.
Packed, bumper to bumper.
It was like bar park.
Hunting and double parking.
On 441, bumper to
Which
bumper.
area?
Mamish.
I don't know.
I told you this. The shul is
Honking and double parking. Mamish, you feel at home, Hamish.
And the New York license plates on the cars.
New York license plates.
The shul in Boca expanding another 80.
I'm not kidding.
Didn't start because they collect only 15.
But Boca?
Boca. That shul.
What?
Oh, he is.
How many thousand?
Well, Boca BRS.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
18 million expanding more. It's
Which Denver? Which Chabad is Denver?
It's not Chabad house.
Goldberg.
It's our Goldberg. It's
Oh, the Young Israel.
all of them together.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, Boca Raton Synagogue, BRS.
Hmm. I have two brother-in-laws that live there.
Huge. It's very good with Chabad.
This is where Klal Yisrael is today. It's not New York anymore. You know, the Olam is moving out. And, it used to be New York was the big, but the Klal Yisrael is spreading around the United States. And I don't think it's it's not the hub anymore. But New Jersey and other places.
Six of my nephew moved there from Cornell
Yeah.
last year.
Florida. It's probably going to be Rav Mingan and Bing and Klal Yisrael will be in Florida.
Yeah.
They can't afford the rent in Cornell. They move to Florida.
Cheaper.
Florida, people can get themselves a nice home. It's cheaper over there, and you have to pay triple for that to live in Flatbush in Crown Heights.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to go to my Rabbi side. Do we have a
We need
minyan?
one, no?
One.
Oh, let's just finish off the sif. Shemaschilin, when you start Kiddush, Toiv, Litin, Eine Benedis, it's best you should put your eyes in the natives, like you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
So it actually doesn't come from a part of it comes from the Gemara. Kibeis pamim ner oila tavkuf. What is ner? The gematria of ner. 250. Very good. 2 times ner.
500.
Tavkuf 500. Remember, we have 2 natives for Zachar and Shamar at least, right? We refuel a psia gasash and tell us echem tavkuf mim einish. It says that Chazal tell us in Brachas that someone walks a large step, he loses 1 out of 500th of his eyesight. But so therefore, when you look at the two natives, which are the gematria 500, you get back that 500th chelik that you.
My wife.
But like we said, Commissioner Bar, like we said earlier, Lamaila, that during the brach of Kiddush, you don't want to mesiach das from the mitzvah. You're supposed to look at your koish of Kiddush. You say, Birchas HaKiddush. And Mekadosh Shabbos, you look down on the koish. You look at the
before.
mitzvah. Not that your mind should drift. Should not mesiach das during the mitzvah now.
Rabbi, my wife put 15 candles.
Wow. I just heard someone who did over 100.
She get extra when I.
Fire hazard.
The fire. Let me tell you, my wife's Baba burnt down her apartment from the candles.
He did what?
Yeah, she light a lot of candles. She burnt her apartment down. I mean, it was she had already sold her house. She was older. She moved already. She was ready on Mana. She was living in Crown Heights, and she Friday night she didn't chap. She fell asleep back in her chair, so she didn't chap sich. And the candles were the whole place is full of smoke. She finally woke up. She came running out, and her children lived 2 doors down. She came running and waiting back in the door. Her face was totally black. No one wanted to open the door. They thought some Schweiz was knocking on the door. The Baruch Hashem, everyone was okay. I don't know who this lady is by the doors.
The apartment is gone.
Banging on the door. Let me in.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
The one holds
But
about.
this comes from the candles.
About Shuva came to his father's house.
And they're very careful with the candles. You know what happened over here in Flatbush with the B'dikas Chametz. They're very careful with the candles.
About Shuva came to his father's house. He knocked on the door. His father looked in the window. He said, "Who is this?" I said, "Your son." I said, "No, my son doesn't have a beard. I don't open the door for you." He wasn't in the house for a long time. He came back. He has a big beard.
Didn't
His
think
father
it's
looked in the
father.
window. He said, "No, I'm not opening the door for you. Not my son."
By the way, I called up Shimon Eider. You know, he put out the halachas for Pesach, and I said, why don't you put down that when you look under a bed, use a flashlight? And he said, and no, hang on, no, that was serious. And
What did he tell you?
And his answer was, I can't put seichel into the halachas.
I like that answer.
That was his answer.
I like that answer.
Shimon Eider.
They say there's 4 parts of Shulchan Aruch, and then the fifth chelik of Shulchan Aruch. The fifth part is you have to use your brains. So that's a lot of people don't know about that section of
You
Shulchan
have to
Aruch.
have it brain first and then use it.
The Lashon Chazal is Mishi yesh le mayich b'kat
Oh,
kadei.
yes, yes.
Not everyone has a mayich b'kat kadei. Everyone should Thank you for joining, everyone.
Sure.
Thank you for